The views and opinions on this podcast do not necessarily reflect those of the executive producer or the sponsors. They are those of the hosts and guests only. We believe freedom of conscience means the right to speak free, to think and believe as you will without the imposition of official coercive power over those beliefs. Liberty cannot exist when people are forced to conform their thoughts and expression to an official viewpoint. Differences of opinion are the natural byproducts of a vibrant, free society. Thank you. Live from Studio Diablo in Chicago, Illinois, this is MK Ultrasound.
Get with the countdown.
I speak jive.
Forget it, man. Blast off for Kicksville. Shake this square world. Blast off for Kicksville.
I speak jive.
Forget it, man. Get with the countdown.
I speak jive.
Forget it, man. Blast off for Kicksville.
Thanks to HBO for the theme song to Real Time with Bill Maher. I play that because we have an impersonator in studio. And what was it like to have dinner with Donald Trump?
Having dinner with Donald Trump. Well, what else can I say? People are saying that I'm on the right now after that, and that I'm despicable. But at least I have a show on HBO, unlike your show.
And HBO stands for Hey Beastmasters on. Alexander back with Max Bravo. Two old friends have come in, Nichole Bodie, Damon, Christopher. Great couple, great fun couple, and great musical couple.
Thanks for having us.
And you've got new music, but we've got a lot to talk about because you were a little bit late because of traffic. It's a crazy day because it's a third night sold out at Soldier Field, the world's greatest country music star.
Oh, did they resurrect Johnny Cash?
Yeah. I was asked why she won, and I said, well, if she didn't, she was nominated for Best Country Album with the Grammys. If she didn't win, they'd be racist. That's basically the truth, right? Am I right? Uh-oh.
Yeah, check all of us. There I am.
No.
No, you're not. Wiggle that back in. There you go.
There I am.
Well, people can't hear my eyes roll.
I like that, having someone like you. That's what Donald Trump would say, actually.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I have a White House unlike you.
Oh, God.
It's going to be great. It's going to be a great show. Totally fantastic.
But no, I want
He's the best. The best.
The Beyonce thing is like, I was downtown yesterday, and it's like cowboy hats and Western wear, like people you would, I saw this guy in my neighborhood wearing like, do you remember when Michael J. Fox went back in time?
Yeah.
And dressed up, and he wore like the fucking carnival
Yeah.
suit.
Yeah, silly looking cowboy
I saw
outfit.
a guy like that.
Oh, I saw several. There was a lot of them wearing sashes.
It's ridiculous.
They had sashes like they win a rodeo, and then they put the sash on the guy, the cowboy.
And I shop at Alcala's for my cowboy
But they
boots and
also-
hats.
yeah.
And I guess they had a surge in sales this week for people buying it. You know, Alcala's isn't cheap.
Right. No,
So-
it's not.
No, not at all. So I was downtown just shocked. And then I get here. And another thing I saw yesterday was 4 trans that stood over 6'5". I've never seen 4 trans guys together that were over that tall.
Really?
Yeah. And I was
Were
just
they
like,
cowboyed up or not?
no.
Did they have their assless chaps?
I try not to pay attention. It's just like I had, I usually see like non-binaries around here because I live so close to Boys Town,
Right.
in Andersonville, and it's like a big gay sandwich where I live, and
And Alex is the pickle.
good thing you didn't say mayo. So, no, I'm used to seeing these non-binary people who could like be, like, I'm just like look, you're annoying me because you're like, you're hairy, you got a beard, and you got boobs, and your belly's sticking out, a hairy belly, and you're wearing a mini skirt.
Yeah.
I don't get that. If you want to be, assume the image of a woman or assume the image of a man, not either, but okay, do your best.
Right.
You see the same thing in New York. When I was there for the Independent Music Awards a couple of years ago, I saw a guy. I was outside the venue having a cigarette, and a guy walked by wearing a pink sundress, full beard, a beard like a Muslim.
Osama bin Laden.
Cork heels, a pink sundress, and like a white sun hat. And I was just like,
Yeah.
You're going to see the crazy. I saw, after I saw this guy on the platform with a mannequin all made up and these little sexy stockings, and he had a bag of her clothes on the little cart he was pushing around on. A bearded guy in a dress is refreshing.
Oh, my God. Should I share my story?
Please.
Oh, I have a story. So, we're at a party, and I go into the bathroom, and one of them
yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I was trying to be friendly.
I didn't find out about it till later because I would have killed the motherfucker.
This is one of these stories. Okay.
I go in the bathroom, and it was like, hey, can you help me out? I need help. I thought maybe something with their wardrobe or whatever. I pull in. It's the handicap stall, and this is a biker bar, okay? Mm-hmm. Pulls me in, grabs my hand, and says, I want you to touch one.
His boobs.
His weird,
Whoa.
like, Frankenstein boobs. It was the scariest thing I ever saw.
And this guy was, like, middle-aged, too. Like
So
50.
I get away. I go out of the bathroom, and I can't say anything.
Well, he tried to trap you in the bathroom.
Yeah, he tried trapping me in the bathroom. And everybody could see the expression on my face.
You think it was just a man being a freak trying to get women to touch?
Maybe.
It was at the Thirsty Beaver.
Where's that?
It's a biker bar in the suburbs.
Yeah. But yeah, it's that individual is no longer allowed at the establishment. But
That's wild.
That's
that's
harassment.
She told everybody but me. They're like, don't tell Damon. Don't tell Damon. Fucking, he'll kill him.
Yeah, no, it was. So I have a whole different perspective on people that are trying to make me change my ideas of what they think I should think of them. And no, I'm a woman, and you're not going to take that away from me. That's my thoughts on it. If you want to go be crazy, do whatever you want, in the comfort of your home. But I'm no longer.
I don't like the
with
restroom thing. I don't like the.
No,
it's there's
wrong.
a lot of people. I'm going to get a lot of hate on this, but I don't like the sports shit.
Think about the kids.
No, me neither.
No,
I
but
mean, there was just in the suburbs, and another guy just won 3 field events in the women's, and he was a biological male.
Yeah, it's BS.
And he beat the high school girls who.
Do whatever you want. Let your freak flag fly. I get it,
Right.
man. It's cool.
We're rock and rollers. We're all for that.
I might even look at a pictorial of you if you're dressed right.
Whatever happened to
got the right
regular
kind of
gays and
lingerie on.
lesbians? Is it when we changed the milk? Because it used to be just regular whole milk or 2%, and now you can bring up the almond milk and the oat milk, and now you have weird gays. Something
Interesting
happened.
theory.
I like regular gays.
I didn't put the cowboy hats together with Beyonce at all. And, until after a while, I started seeing the sash and it said Queen Bee, and I'm like, okay, she's still here. But my grandson and I, we were at I took both of them. We went to the Museum of Illusions. That's where we were.
Those are cool pictures.
And but yeah, we kept seeing and he likes to wear a cowboy hat. He looks good at it, tall, lean kid. 18 years old.
Mexican kid.
And he wanted to wear he goes, I should have worn my hat. And I'm looking around. And once we figured out what it was, I'm like, no, you don't want to wear your hat. No.
He's got a good hat, too.
You go to his, he got a great hat.
I'm just wondering if these people with the freshly discovered look of the cowboy look are fans of country music before, or are they just doing this to support Beyonce?
It's a fad. She's creating this new fad.
Country music's not a fad. It's been around forever.
No,
it's probably the most
the
popular
faux country fad is what she's
form of music.
The faux country fad.
Right.
Well, what I posted on Facebook about Thursday night that it rained, and I was hoping it would get rained out, but it ended. It went till 1 a.m.
Yeah.
Had that been Rammstein, no way.
Oh,
you can't play past 10 o'clock. That's a curfew.
AJ's been wearing a cowboy hat since I took him to Dallas to visit family when he was 6.
Well,
Got his first cowboy hat, and he loved it.
But I posted it. I said, the number one country, superstar, Beyonce sold out Soldier Field. And I didn't put a name, and I put a picture of Lainey Wilson up. And a lot of people didn't catch it because of the blonde hair. And now what about the cultural misappropriation there? Like if a white guy gets dreads now, or in a movie, they give you, that's cultural inappropriation.
Yeah,
I see black chicks walking around out there with straight blonde hair.
I don't recall seeing that in Nigeria, Africa, anywhere.
Hey, what about the guy with the leaf blower? He sent me this video. This guy goes around the leaf blower and blows the wigs off a black woman's head.
Isn't it? Oh my God!
Their weave goes flying up in the air and they get super upset. Oh, that's my favorite.
Then when they fight, especially in Dalton. Yeah. I love that fight in Dalton. The mayor got her wig ripped off.
Hilarious.
I'm glad I didn't move to the suburbs for one reason, because I'd be missing the fun.
Yeah, because you were.
Mayor Brandon Johnson's a retard.
Oh, he's the worst.
And full-blown racist. He had the
guy with the faux mohawk. The mohawk.
$30,000 a year for hair and makeup.
That's crazy.
Yeah, got his wife an office. She doesn't have a job with this city, and it got her like a $10,000 chair.
It came out of the Chicago Teachers Union.
Nobody is voting for this. Nobody's voting. The Pritzker. It's got to be Pritzker. It's got to be him funneling money into this shit, because nobody would vote for this. No true Chicagoan would ever vote for this.
Even on a federal level, you've got the House of Representatives, the Senate. They're passing laws and doing shit that nobody agrees with. Nobody.
Right. And I wake up like, where'd this one come from?
So even when you tell them we don't want this, just fucking do it anyway. They don't care.
Right.
You know, it'd be fun to talk about right now with music.
Right.
We're gonna get more of this shit later. But I was texting with you last week, Damon. I'm like, it's time we do a show right now because things are hot, things are funny. And the Bill Maher thing, and I think about you every time I watch the show now, because you just dropped that on me like the last time you were on out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's Alex. I actually have a show.
All condescending like that, like Bill can be. But the shit he got over going to the White House just killed me. And it's like his thing when he closed out the other night was like, if you're gonna like something, don't hate it the next 5 minutes just because, like the Teslas and everything else.
Right.
So I thought, okay, time to do a show, and you sent me some great music over the spring, and the video that you did outside, we'll be playing that second. But we're lucky we get that weather. Do you just happen to have a camera out that day?
That was a crime of opportunity. I saw the snow coming down. I saw the light just coming just in perfectly, and the new house we bought has that stone circle that you see sitting in the middle of, which we're going to tear out, by the way. But I don't know. All of a sudden I saw it. We weren't doing anything.
No.
I started getting dressed, put on my boots and my overcoat. She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "We're doing a video."
We'll play one of your new songs, Hollywood Movie, and then we'll talk a little bit about your background and experience in music, and a lot about your background in local heavy metal. And you told me some stories this afternoon that I never knew. So Hollywood Movie, you just sent this video to me, and what's the background on this tune?
So the background of this is kind of with the temperature of everything that's going on right now. Hollywood has been exposed. People know what's going on. People know what happens. They've always known what happens behind closed doors, but now it's becoming more apparent of what the truth is.
Right.
So I wrote Hollywood Movie in the province of early 1920s when celebrities and actors and actresses and musicians were considered as a lower part of society because they didn't really offer anything to help day to day, with farming or any type of trade. So it's kind of...
going back to like the 16th, 17th century, even the 18th century, actors and musicians were respectable people, didn't hang out with them. It was looked down upon. They were necessary, and they should have kept to themselves while the elites paid to see them to be entertained. They would not commingle together. That was very disrespectful.
And I guess it was that way then. And if anybody knows anything about that, I think that all changed with Marilyn Monroe. I think. Yeah. But she did have to go through the casting couch and all that, which was
quote casting couch.
Exactly.
She didn't have to read a script.
Right.
It was a different type of, you're going to come in here and read the script. Yeah. And same thing happened to Shirley Temple Black and her mother.
Oh, yeah.
They would separate them. Yeah. Same thing. So the song is written in that premise.
Well, let's play this one, and then we'll come back and chat.
And even more so that it's kind of a contemptuous almost view of actors, because The only thing they're really good at is pretending to be somebody else. Now, if you and me, Alex, if we were face to face and I had just met you and you were trying to like act like somebody other than who you were, I would naturally lose all respect for you, right? In a natural situation. But these guys are getting paid.
Okay, my actor friends, don't get upset. And don't get upset about the shit we were talking about before either, because you're probably gonna.
Yeah.
All right, well, this is Hollywood Movie, and you're listening to the MK Ultrasound podcast.
I didn't know that I was in a Hollywood movie. I guess I got the role of star again. You wrote the script, but never knew the story. Do the audition for the part you want to play. Lights, camera, action. I know you want to be some kind of superstar for all the world to see. Only I can see you now, but the camera is not me. Now you see who you are on the silver screen. Now it's here, your big night, flashing lights and screams. Just a clown dancing for real people, real dreams. All you are is someone who pretends you're someone else. Most of us will never be someone like yourself. You didn't know that you were in a Hollywood movie, fabricating all the stars you could be, doing your lines in the bathroom in a mirror. The audience will never see you this way. Sights, music, women, you know it's on TV. Some kind of silver freak for all the world to feed. Cut to the commercial now so they can buy the lie. Sell it for the dollar money, let it burn until you die. Now it's here, your big night, flashing lights and screams. Just a clown dancing for real people, real dreams. All you are is someone who pretends you're someone else. Most of us will never be someone like yourself. You didn't know that you were in a Hollywood movie.
Good job on that one. And
Oh, thank you.
you said you wrote that over a span of a couple of years?
Oh, yes. A lot of the music
Yeah,
that's
maybe about a year and a half.
yeah, we have some music that we wrote that we wrote a long time ago that we're just bringing out now.
Okay. And during COVID, we were just talking on the break here. You didn't work for a year. I was lucky enough I was able to work, but they closed the office in Evanston. Everybody left Illinois but me. I mean, the bosses moved out of state.
Oh, wow.
Everybody left the state except for me.
That's when we had to stop doing live shows. We
Yeah.
Oh, everything. I mean,
Couldn't
They
get
put
a
a
gig.
stick in everything.
I remember biking by the Riv one day, and it said it's been 1 year since a live show with Jam and. But yeah, but just how they close things up. At least you'd have a motorcycle, and you do the motorcycle riding.
Oh, absolutely.
I have a bicycle, and our lovely mayor Lightfoot at the time shut the bike lane. She shut down the lakefront for an entire season.
The healthiest place in the city.
Right.
We can go to get some vitamin D from the sun.
And then she's out there with a bullhorn going up by the gay beaches up by where you live, and all the guys out there, and she's a bullhorn, go home or you'll be arrested. And I'm like, bitch, Meanwhile, they're partying outside in the streets downtown, if you noticed.
Yeah.
Like all night long.
She
partying.
threatened to, law enforcement motorcycle clubs. She tried arresting us too.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, we had a
Tell us, please.
we had a big ride scheduled. I think it was the
Ride to Remember.
Ride to Remember. We do it every year. It's all up the lakefront, and we basically shut down like most of the roads that we ride on. We have police escort and stuff.
300 bikes.
And then at
400.
the end of it, the Pipe and Drum Corps from Chicago Police were scheduled to come, and Lori Lightfoot herself said, "If you guys gather in this spot with the Pipe and Drum Club, you guys are all fired, and everybody's getting arrested." There's like 1,000 bikers too. You know, how you gonna arrest 1,000 bikers?
One night, Cassie dropped out of the podcast that time, and she was having a breakdown because her roommate said, you're going to get COVID in the house. Yvette Lyra moved back here, and she was going to be my co-host.
Yeah.
She had to 4 different states before she finally found a home. COVID just, and the people who really bought that, I got the vaccinations because, number one, I'm not afraid of getting a vaccination because I've got other shit in me anyway.
Never got it.
Never
And they
got
gave
it.
me.
I just got the first one. I kept
Yeah,
getting
but-
the text saying you haven't had your second, and I
You
still
remember, like,
haven't.
to go to an event,
I
though?
love this guy's. You were born to do radio. I love this guy's voice.
Thank you.
It's like listening to chocolate.
But I caught COVID twice, and the first one was the worst. You know, it's in your body, builds your immunities, and then the second one hit me a day and a half. Well, the first one was a good 3 days, and I had to get up at night, like at 2 a.m, and shower to get my body temperature down.
Yeah.
And that's all it was, just monitor your temperature like a regular fever. You know.
Yeah.
My worst was
That's all it
August.
is.
I got August doing that event outdoors downtown, and it was a really hot day with no shade, and we're podcasting outdoors, and I had to shut down. We did 2 20-minute segments. I'm like, I can't do it, and I just thought it was heat.
Yeah.
Nope. Came home, tested positive COVID, and I had it in the heat.
Oh, wow.
The August heat, and that was miserable.
I had it one time, and it was before anybody knew what the fuck it was.
Yeah.
We went to
Yeah,
the
exactly. And that's what you said.
2020
You
auto
thought you
show.
had it early before it was announced.
I think I did too. Yeah,
We
my
went to
friend
the-
Colleen
That's
had it.
that happened to you.
2019, the end of 2019,
Yeah,
the
that
auto
was this
show
day.
at the
at
auto
McCormick
show.
Place.
That
that-
would that would have been like January,
Yeah.
January, February,
Yeah.
right?
And then
Yeah.
like 2 weeks after I recovered, that's when all this COVID thing started happening. I was like, oh yeah, I had that. It's not that big a deal.
Well, it is like a bad cold.
Yeah,
It's a new strain of a flu.
I had a strain in October of 2019 where all the same symptoms of COVID, and that's around the time they released it years before this even happened.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're talking. They'll talk about it and then just move on to something else. But they created vaccines in 2016 for this. And they're saying, oh, well, you know, we did this in 9 months. No, they actually started.
I
in
knew
2016.
something was up when they asked for my social.
Yeah.
I'm like, why do you need my social? Really, just give me. And plus, it is the hospital where I was being treated at the same time. You have everything you need on me,
Right.
but they insisted on my social. But you talked about this new website. Just
yeah. There's
Wanna go
a
break?
I haven't seen it, but I heard it on another podcast.
Okay.
Adam Carolla, most downloaded podcast.
Love
in
his podcast.
Yeah, it's awesome. But he was talking about it. Evidently, they put up a website, and it lists all the shit that they were wrong about and all the shit that they lied about. And it's something .gov, but if you look at it, you'll just be like, what the fuck?
I'll find. I'll definitely look that up tonight.
Yeah.
Corolla's fun.
Yeah.
Did you see when he went back to his house after the fires?
Oh, his
Malibu
vlog, his vlog.
Yeah, and it was like he got unscathed, but his neighbors,
Unscathed.
my God,
Yeah.
his neighbors, like he's talking about where everything was and how wiped out.
Yeah. It's crazy.
And that's another thing. Their government fucked up out there in California.
Yeah, why did they shut off the water?
Gavin Newsom?
Before it happened.
Yeah, in the fire department.
Gavin
and
Bateman.
never refilled that reservoir.
No, they
nope.
didn't.
And the lady that they hired as fire chief,
Ooh.
because she's a woman, and
DEI
and that she would not answer any questions when
No,
she
she
got
would
back
just-
from Africa.
Right.
She went to Africa during
God.
that. They know that's when the fires come out there.
Yeah.
I knew that by reading a Doors book that said to end of winds and all that shit.
Yep.
What were they covering up? What were they burning?
I never thought about that.
Yeah. What were they burning? What was the purpose of burning all
just-
those celebrity homes? What were they trying to?
Trump used the laser satellite in orbit. He's got the wrist controller. And he's like, "Fuck these motherfuckers."
In his secret lair
Hollywood
behind in Mount
liberals.
Rushmore. In his secret lair behind
That lair. I wish we were filming this show. Oh, we're also going to be able to put this on YouTube since
cool.
because you're not affiliated with a publisher or a label that's going to fuck us on YouTube. So
Yeah. No, for sure.
and like with KMFDM songs, we were able to play those.
Okay.
So this is awesome. Good,
Yeah.
Double whammy. For
Well,
everybody else.
I'm the owner of Damon C. Burnclaw Music Publishing, and I'm the owner of Damon Avenue Music Productions, and you have full permission to use all my shit.
And yeah, I love how you put that in emails. It's professional. More people should do that.
Yes.
Because you never, I mean, it's just like somebody used an article from MK Ultra that was from like 2003 on a fan site of a band.
Oh, they thought they were slick.
And I work with this band. They're friends of mine, and I've known them for years. The very beginning of my career as a publisher. But there was a snippet of one of their members wrote for me for an issue, and the founder of the band didn't agree with what she had to say, and it was already in print.
Right.
But somebody posted this. I'm like, please take that down. And it says in every issue, you cannot use anything without the express written consent. Same thing on my website.
Yeah.
And I could have thrown that at the guy, but I'm just like, out of courtesy, take it down. Please, I know that this singer wouldn't appreciate it.
Sure.
And then a big fucking shitstorm. And then the singer writes to me, he opens up, holy shitstorm, Alex. I asked the guy to take something down, but I knew that the singer would not appreciate.
Right.
And that was the whole point, just being a friend. I know the guy.
Being a friend and looking out.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he said.
Right.
Yep.
But the person thinking that, oh, it's 2003, are they really going to notice?
Well, the thing
yeah,
is,
you are.
Well, it's my fucking shit.
Right, exactly.
The prevailing attitude now is that all information and data is up for grabs, and it's all public domain, but it's not.
But going back to the rights of your music and all, how did you two meet? I know I met you when you were a member of that band Worm.
Yes.
That you were fired for a meme.
Yes.
I still like throw that up. You never
That's
noticed
when
that?
I met her.
Yeah.
Really?
I was doing my a show with backup vocals for the band June 6, 2015.
What location?
Oh.
Star Bar.
Star Bar. Was it Bada
Okay.
Brew? No. It was Star Bar.
I first saw you at Nightcaps.
Yes.
That place was an awesome bar.
That was a great bar.
It was at Star Bar.
Yes.
I was there to see and support a different band that might have been opening for Worm,
Maybe.
but I wound up meeting her that night,
Okay.
Yeah.
and then she went on stage, and I was in the front row, and I was just captivated by her voice and her look and her vocals and just her whole persona. Then she came off stage, and we were formally introduced by a mutual friend. And her fucking husband fucking walks up behind her like, "Hi, I'm Jimmy."
Your husband?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you had a husband.
Yeah, I
She was
did.
married at the time.
I was married, but my marriage was in shambles.
I get it.
I was getting ready to move in with my father, and
That kind of shit doesn't stop Damon.
Well, I was with a date the night I saw you. I think you were filming. Michael Michael Alice was going to film Rock Lobster there that night.
oh wow,
Nightcaps.
yeah.
And I walked by you, and I was with my date, and she was from Amsterdam, and jealous of everything. And that's why we left early, because I had too many female friends there.
Oh, that lady.
Yeah.
Oh my
The
God.
Dutch, the
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah,
Well, the second crazy Dutch, there were two, but the first Dutch wasn't jealous. This one was jealous of even my cousin, which is what ended our relationship. But I went back you, and I'm like, you had your little Worm uniform on,
Oh yeah.
and I was like, I never saw you before. I'm like, who are you? And that was just it. You're probably like, who the fuck is this guy? And my girlfriend's like, did you say something to her? I'm like, I just asked who she was.
Wow.
Then I know, I'm like, okay, I talked to a couple other women there, because I'm in the music scene here locally, and I'm like, let's just go home.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Yeah, but Damon and I started doing our own music.
But when you met that night, did you swap numbers?
He stepped in front of me. I was beelining to a friend of mine, and he stepped in front of me. Oh my goodness! It was like I could hear Dreamweaver playing in the background. He had the the sexy Levi's on. He had like the leather jacket. I'm like,
hair.
wow, what's this? I'm like, who are you today?
We figured out it goes back even further than that.
Oh,
Okay. Well, let's hear it.
Well,
Jimmy, I hope you're listening.
So
all right, disclaimer. I'm not a pedophile.
Nope. This is many years ago.
Because I have 15 years on her. You know, she's 15 years younger than me.
Right. So
But she'll tell the story of the actual first time that we were in the same room together.
long story short, I used to go around shooting pool. I loved hanging out pool halls with my girlfriend.
And you were
Beth.
how old?
I was 16. And we wanted to get into the green room in Westmont, and we couldn't get a table. So she's like, let's go to Brookfield. They have a green room there. I'm like, sweet, let's go. So we get in her Thunderbird, drive to green room in Brookfield. I walk in the door, and I see these two gentlemen across the room, leaning against one of the pool tables. This one with his arms folded, looking real cool, long ropey hair, and he's standing next to this guy, kind of dopey looking, shorter. It was Damon and his brother.
Okay.
And I was looking, and I told my girlfriend, I said, what's that? And she's like, no. You don't even know what to do with that. I'm like, but I would like to know that. He smiled at me. I smiled at him, and I left.
I was pushing 30 at that point.
Okay.
But we were looking through old photos when we first got together, and I'm like, you were at the green room that night. And he remembered I was wearing the maroon leather pants.
That's fucking great.
Weird,
So,
right?
18 years later, I run into him at
Star Bar.
Star Bar.
And then what did you do? Exchange numbers that night, or
I think we did.
Yeah.
No.
You
We
gave me your card.
Yeah, that's
there
right.
you go.
You gave me your business card.
That's the way
That's
to roll.
the move, yeah.
And then I called him eventually and said, hey, can you give me guitar lessons? I didn't really need guitar lessons. I was just trying to get my foot in the door because I thought.
Oh, I love this.
I thought I was totally like, he was out of my league. I'm not the type of broad that this guy likes to be with, like he probably likes, hot, strippers or people,
you never know.
But I
do
didn't
like
think,
hot strippers.
there's nothing wrong. Who doesn't like hot strippers? I like hot strippers.
The guy with the mannequin.
Oh yeah, that guy. He
But-
probably doesn't like hot strippers. He likes mannequins.
Eventually, we grew closer and closer quite fast, and I wasn't expecting, for us to be an item. I wasn't. It hit me like a whirlwind. Because like I said, I was going to move in with my dad, and he said, "Why don't you just come move in with me? Because you're here all the time."
Well, I think the first time after we met at Star
How long
Bar,
were these guitar lessons? 12 hours.
It's still going on.
she wound up picking me up from the airport
Oh,
from
God.
another New York trip
Okay.
for Independent Music Awards, which I lost. You know who won that year? Fucking Taylor Swift.
Of course.
Independent Music Album of the fucking year. Yeah, independent. Give me a break. Anyway,
Exactly. What the fuck?
yeah, selling out arenas. She gets an award for independent.
Independent.
Yeah, but anyway, she picked me up at the airport, and that was the first time we were alone together. And we went back to my place. And there's a story there too, but probably for a different podcast.
Not safe for this podcast.
It involves
This one that was.
it involves marital aids and lost butt plugs.
Note to
Oh,
Alex,
wait a minute. That's our kind of show.
Alex's note to self: you need to set a permanent button on there with porno music from the
Yeah,
70s.
I do have that. Just that wasn't ready.
Should have hit the. You should have hit the drop.
Oh, that's great.
It's funny because we just had Seika here a couple weeks ago,
Yeah.
and
Oh my God, Seiko. Oh, she's a huge part of my teenage years.
everybody's, I think, yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I've known her for Jesus, and I met her in '99
No kidding.
when she lived here, and now she's in Kansas City.
We used to drive by those Marina Towers
Yeah,
back in the day, and everybody, hey, that's where Seiko lives. I don't know if we
no,
were
she
right
lived
or
in
not.
Old Town.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I was at her condo.
far out.
But that was in '99, and her documentary just dropped. That's why she was here. And her and her husband Carl, they were great.
They were
I gotta
awesome.
watch that.
Oh, it's good. I mean,
were
it's really
awesome.
good because she doesn't, unlike the other girls, that Tracy Lords tries to play victim, and everybody likes to try to play victim. Ginger Lynn will never do that, but Seika's she was classy
Yeah.
when it came to that. And the world in porn is completely different world now than it was then. But Max, let Max tell what happened after you left here.
What do you mean?
What you
What
can
I
talk
took-
about. Well, you and our video guy, we filmed it.
Oh yeah, my
It's
friend
on
Trey
YouTube.
is now our videographer and we they took an Uber here, And Trey,
They were at Exotica.
Yeah, Trey and I we'll give you a ride back, because they were talking about getting something to eat, and she's loved Chicago, and I just threw out Al's in Wrigleyville. It's on the way, a quick stop, and she goes, "Oh my God!" So he bought all the beefs. I was going to buy mine and Trey's, but no, he bought everything, and we went back and had dinner with him at their hotel.
I ran into a friend.
Yeah, we ran into our little friend Adrian.
Oh,
His
yeah.
girlfriend.
Oh.
He's so hilarious. He's awesome. And Seika knew him right away because she sees him at the fest. She goes,
Right.
"Hey, you, where you been?" So we ended up getting invited up to the room, and they just took a funny picture. They took a funny picture with him. They were geared up to go to bed. They were in their just sleep gear and just chatting with us. And I told the guys we had just visit for a little bit and get out,
Mm-hmm.
But she goes, actually, Carl came with the idea. They put Adrian in the bed with her and took a couple of cool shots, just nuzzling
awesome.
together with each other.
She is.
It was cute. They were fun. They're fun.
Yeah,
people.
she's classy. She's still, her and her husband, just great people to work with. And no, we don't do Exotic anymore.
Oh,
There's a such thing as woke porn.
what?
The whole industry is woke.
Stop.
Oh yeah,
You're kidding. What is it? Is it with the trans?
and
Who
fatty,
ruined? Who,
obese,
who
very
ruined it?
But wait,
obese.
you were a Exotica pioneer back,
Yeah, well, I was worked.
You're-
I did
oh,
that,
and you worked on the Expo of the Extreme,
and-
right?
and the Adult Video Awards in Vegas.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, it's
It's woke.
it's woke as fuck.
That is
And
so
you know what? How about it's just a
disappointing.
big fucking giant ad for bad health and diabetes?
That's awful.
I mean, I'm telling you, okay, the big women were nice, really, really nice, but there's no stars anymore. You don't now.
But again, there's nothing wrong with that
No.
kind of porn, but there's nothing wrong with furries either. But they have a furry convention.
Yes.
That's
for
too much.
that
Niche.
reason.
There's niches. There's
Yes.
fetishes.
If it's porn
Then they have
industry
their own
type,
things, but now it's all you got to be all inclusive, or
it should be geared to.
it's
real
just like
stars.
Boys Town. You can't call Boys Town anymore. It's got to be called North Halsted because it's not inclusive to the trans.
That is ridiculous. See, regular gays. What happened to the regular gays and lesbians? That's all we need. Regular
Almond
gay-
milk, oat milk. date
No,
milk.
just whole milk and 2%.
What about the homo milk?
Well, that's what she's talking about.
Did you send me that thing? Is that you? Did send me that meme? It was like a milk carton, just a homo milk. Somebody sent it to me. It's fucking funny. It's something you would do, though.
It is something I would send you.
And then we get you fired from a band.
Right.
Oh, you'd be more than fired.
Wasn't
Yeah.
it Chappelle that described it, like the whole movement, like they're all sitting in a car together?
Yes.
Oh, and then he got fucking banned. Then they,
Yeah.
I mean, and
Or
he
they
said
got the gay guy
the alphabet people.
and
The lesbian.
and
the
then
queer.
the trans guy's like,
don't-
I'm hot. Can we open a window?
But Chappelle was like, and that trans person that committed suicide ultimately was his friend.
Yeah.
But yet, just because he said it and he's famous. Now, we have one friend who was on the show sometimes. She said, it's because he's black. No, that's not because he's black. It's because he said something that you can't say in this day and age. And it was a joke, but they didn't listen to the whole joke.
Right, exactly.
Alex, you got to say black right. It's 2 syllables. Black.
Did you just snort?
By the way, one of my favorite actors is Jack Black.
Jack.
Oh, speaking of last week, Jackie Black died from thrill kill cult. Did you know that?
Ooh.
No.
Jackie Black, the original Bomb Gang girl. Yeah, I got the call Monday. It wasn't announced until Wednesday. Cinderella
See, I'm
Pussy
so
called me.
unplugged. I don't get any news.
This came from a phone call, and they
Oh, yeah?
they just don't say anything. And I waited until a couple of days later, and then I told Max, like, get some background. When I first met her was in '93 when they were on the Sexplosion tour when they were signed to Interscope Records. So I worked with Thrill Kill forever,
Yeah.
pretty much. I was in Pittsburgh at that time. They stayed in touch with them in Indiana. And then I moved here, and of course, and then all but 2 members moved to fucking California.
Right.
Wow.
Everybody leaves Chicago. Even Al Jorgensen left Chicago. What's that
Chicago
telling
sucks.
you?
Yeah.
Chicago sucks. Do you remember Impotent Sea Snakes?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They used to play at the Expo of the Extreme.
They were on that tour with Wasp and Seventh Omen.
Yeah, I want to talk about that when you talk about your metal stuff too. I really want to talk about it. You told a story that I'm like, God damn, this is going to be a good show. So we should jump into a song.
Sure.
But I do want to say, Jackie Black, I loved you so much. I mean, you were so much fun, and I gave them a party the first time I saw them at a bar I worked at in Pittsburgh. They came, and then she looked at me. I don't know what it's meant, but we were like under 30 at the time.
Oh, wow.
No. I didn't start MK Ultra yet, so I was 28. And she said something like, you look like you'd fit just right. And I got a picture of me sticking my tongue out with her.
Oh, that's awesome.
But we'll play your song that you did. We were talking about this at the beginning of the show, or the Salmore Radio. At the top of the hour, we were talking about you did this snowstorm came, and you decided to go get dressed and go outside. You said the light was right.
Oh, yeah. That's an older song, actually. I didn't release it until recently, but
okay.
Nichole wrote the lyrics. I wrote the music.
You both wrote this?
Yeah, she wrote the lyrics.
I wrote the
We were
lyrics.
Oh,
working
that's
on it
right. I read that
together.
on
A
the
true collaboration.
And one night we were in the studio and she got tired because I was being a typical dick that I am, producer, and just pushing her too hard. She's like, I'm tired, I'm going to bed. So I sat down in front of the mic and was like, all right, I'll fucking do it myself then.
And then how did the video come about?
Just like I was saying, I saw the snow falling in the backyard. The lighting was perfect. And she was laying on the couch, and I had the master ready already. So I put a click at the beginning of it so I could cue the camera, and just went out there and did it. She filmed it, and I just...
Oh, so you got up?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's getting dressed pretty quick too, because the light
Yeah.
doesn't last long
And the
when you
snow
have
doesn't.
outside light.
Snow isn't
No.
always right either.
I
You had a
stood-
good snowfall that night.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't waste that.
That was
perfect-
fireman
It was a perfect
fast.
But we didn't
opportunity.
have a lot of snow this year.
No.
So the good. And then it was like no time till you got that to me. So I appreciated that a lot. And I appreciate whenever you send me new music, because this is Settling Dust, and this is Damon and Nichole on the MK Ultra Sound Podcast.
Go down to the roadway where you know I have seen. Lately I have gone another way far between you and I. There is a stream. What are your dreams of the night? You remember everything is away. I have the dawn, I have the dusk, finding the spawn, the settling dust. I have the dawn, I have the dusk, finding the spawn, the settling dust. Music changes, the sun rise and set. The tide comes and goes and the desert is wet. The green grows a brown, the moon is dark. The wind is still just like my heart. The music changes, the sun rises and sets. The tide comes and goes and the desert is wet. The green grows a brown, the moon is dark. The wind is still just like my heart. I have the dawn, I have the dusk, finding the spawn, the settling dust. I have the dawn, I have the dusk, finding the spawn, the settling dust, the settling dust. I hide into the storm with the devil by my side. Let's live in the yards and pick up the pace. dust.
Good one. There's a lot of influences in that.
Yeah, I've got quite a broad array of
It's like
influences.
flamenco guitar right here.
Yeah, that's how I originally started learning how to play guitar, was finger picking,
No
flamenco,
shit.
Spanish, and then acoustic guitar has always been the foundation of my technique from day one. And then I got into Led Zeppelin and Aerosmith. That's when I discovered cigarettes and weed. That's when I discovered I could grow my hair long, and that's when I discovered chicks dug guitar players. And that all happened out west when I was living in the desert in New Mexico and the mountains of California.
Is that where you're from?
No, I'm from here, but I went out there for my high school years. I was out there for like 6 years.
Nice.
Just bouncing around between Texas, Santa Fe, New Mexico, Albuquerque, New Mexico, Shiprock, Shingle Springs, California, up in the Sierra Nevadas, Fairfield, Vacaville. I bounced around a lot up there.
The part of New Mexico and Arizona is my favorite part of the country.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
Mine too.
I fell in love with Sedona. Now, Sedona is not what it was 20 years ago when I discovered it.
But then once I came back here to Chicago, I hooked up with some old friends, and they introduced me to Metallica, Slayer,
So you went from just like the hard rock guys and then right into metal.
Well, I went from folk and Spanish finger picking into hard rock like Aerosmith and Zeppelin.
Right.
And then from there, I went into Slayer, Metallica, and Anthrax. And Yngwie Malmsteen was another big influence.
Yngwie,
of mine.
yeah. But living out there, was there any, well, I mean, definitely I could hear that Spanish influence, that Southwestern influence in the guitar playing. And even the vocals, I heard, it reminded me a little bit of Los Lonely Boys.
Okay.
I like that stuff a lot.
Yeah.
Right on.
And so I'm like, wow, I mean, you do good with that. And what do you use to mix down on? What's your studio like?
My DAW, digital audio workstation, I use it's a little bit antiquated these days, but I know the system. It's Cakewalk Sonar.
Okay.
Most people use Pro Tools, but
Right.
Pro Tools and Cakewalk were huge competitors. Not back in the Cakewalk's actually coming back right now, but that's where I cut my teeth. That's how I can work intuitively and instinctually within Cakewalk Sonar DAW.
So I assume at your home you have your own space for that?
Yep.
Good.
Yep. Got good Atom monitors, good subwoofer, got all my mics set up. All my guitars are in a rack right next to my desk. So, any idea that I have, I can grab whatever instrument I need, be it bass, guitar, acoustic guitar, electric guitar,
Piano.
piano, whatever I need.
And you play all that. What else other than guitar do you play?
I can play the piano.
Okay.
I also play guitar. Really great at harmonica.
Yeah, she's great.
I love playing harmonica.
Really?
Yeah, I'm very good.
Have I seen you play harmonica?
Yes, you have.
Yes,
Okay.
you
I know Pete Berwick always Pete Berwick does the Bob Dylan thing. Yeah. Oh my God. And, you played some of my favorite songs.
Yes.
Some of my favorite covers.
Absolutely.
I miss seeing you live.
Yeah.
In our live show, it was a 4-hour set that we used to do, just mostly classic rock and country, and then I'd be playing the guitar, and usually where the guitar solo would come in, she would do a harp solo instead.
Right. Yeah. I took pictures of some.
Yes, you did. Thank you.
And Empty Bottle, was that what was the place that's closed now?
Elbow room.
Elbow Room. That was a nice room. And that was
It
there
was
for
great.
years.
Did
Yeah.
a lot of shows there.
Yeah.
Oh, legendary. It was also close to Delilah's. Because you could park it in between and go bounce
Right.
between both bars.
Yeah. It's sad that it's gone.
Yeah, live music took a major hit. Or small venues took a major
Right.
hit here. I mean, a guy out in St. Charles that runs the Arcada, he took that time to just rehab that theater, and he bought the Des Plaines Theater and rehabbed that.
Oh,
They're
wow.
fucking awesome rooms now.
Wow.
Because he's into sound,
Okay.
and they
Right.
so he took a break. He's like, okay, I don't have to do construction in between. We just tear everything down, put everything up.
Right.
I went back, different fucking room in the Des Plaines Theater. Unbelievable. And it's right on the train.
Oh, wow.
Drops you off right there.
Yeah, that's nice.
I don't know much about Des Plaines other than that.
Right.
But the Arcada, I love. I absolutely love the Arcada. And I'm going to be there 2 more times this summer.
Cool.
LA Guns. Faster Pussycat's playing Rosemont in
Yes.
a couple weeks. Are you going to go?
Didn't Faster Pussycat just had a tragedy recently?
Yeah, we don't talk about that. It's too
close to the heart.
Too close to the too many close friends, but well, we can just say it was fucked up. The thing was like how the mainstream media and people like Blabbermouth like to take advantage of the drama, and I just chose not to speak about it till after. I think Ricky Rackman gained my respect for the first time ever when he went and gave his full fucking whole heart on that shit, because they put Tammy, when that shit happened on the first night of the cruise, 2 hours after their set, they put him in his cabin and didn't let him leave his cabin for 7 days.
Wow.
Under international waters, under investigation. And then, of course, the rumor mill. And I'm hearing this, and I got a good connection to my friend whose bar I told you should play at the Brig, Jefferson Park.
They focus on the negative aspects of everything because that's what the algorithms are geared towards. Because that's what makes people click on stuff. Yeah, and it's all click-driven ads.
But man,
pennies per click, pennies per click.
But Faster Pussycat, man, they are so good live. They still have it, man. They're just like sleazy trash rock, man.
Right. Love it.
Yeah.
And just like all about the sleaze, and they don't care about writing a dirty song like Power of the Glory Hole. Oh, gee, I wonder what that means. Google that. There's only one thing a glory hole could be. It's not a donut.
I thought it was a Christian thing.
It's a confessional. Just say it.
The good Catholic boy. That's why you're tired. You're watching the Pope all night getting his inauguration.
Wow.
Jeez.
Yeah, they found out he's like part Native or African American.
What?
Pope Leo?
The new Pope, yeah, they're like, their Southside's going nuts. He's a Southsider. He's a Southside Pope, and they found out he's like got black ancestors, so they're gonna love him.
They're already starting to trying to smear him with some allegations of him covering up some
child molesters. Yeah. Not the Catholics.
No,
not them. Never.
You know what it's time for?
What's time for?
Some cherry pie, and I'm not talking about.
Ooh,
it's a good song.
Let's not talking about.
It's not
Warrant. It's I like how you give me a little background on these songs when you send them to me. So this is interesting.
Eat your heart out, Beyonce.
No. Tell us about the song.
So
it's a story song.
It's a story song.
I think they all are.
Well, in some way, but we really focused on this one for it to be a story.
Yeah, so explain the story. So the
story is just about a man and his daughter. So I'm kind of singing it about me and my dad. And when I started writing it, I'm not going to cry, not going to do it.
I know you're close.
But I wrote it before my dad passed. Right. So it's kind of like just made up this ridiculous story about he's this truck driver and like, he finds his long lost daughter that he never knew about.
They've been separated for 20 years.
And
he winds up walking into the diner where she works.
Yeah.
And then at some point, her baby daddy comes in.
Yes, we had to put a baby daddy in there.
And and they don't even know that they're father and daughter yet, but the baby daddy comes in, assaults the waitress, and then the waitress's father, who she doesn't know is his father, beats the shit out of this guy, takes his gun away, sends him on the run, and then they realize that they're father and daughter at that point. And there's a bridge in the middle where I'm playing the part of her father as the truck driver. I throw a little bridge in there where I'm singing.
Mm.
All right, so let's listen to it now. And this is this the first time this is being played on
a major platform?
Yeah. A major platform. All right, stick that up your butthole, Bill Maher. This is the MK Ultrasound Podcast.
Everywhere I ran, everything has led me straight to you, belong to you.
Georgia was a long, hard road. Been reminiscing about my daughter. It's been 20 years since I saw her.
DSN Music kicks off spring 2025 with new music from Bratana and Crypto King.
Everything has led me straight to you. Be blind to you.
Crypto King from Bratana, featuring Val Lapin and Billy from Biohazard. Crypto King, available for download via online music and streaming platforms worldwide via DSN Music.
I barely touched the thing. Sorry about that.
No, I like the mashup.
I like it, mashup.
I'm going to mix that in on the remix.
I like it.
Speaking of Biohazard, do you ever play with those guys? Did you ever like those guys?
No.
No. Too New York hardcore for you?
Yeah. I always was more like progressive metal, you know. We were always trying to move in the direction of like Dream Theater or Symphony X, you know.
Okay. Dream Theater, they still have a presence.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I sent somebody to this writer Abe to cover. Who's the drummer who's soloed out? No, Dave Portnoy. Who's he? What's he do? What's
he was
do?
a drummer in Dream Theater.
Right, and he's got his own thing going. And
I think it's Winery Dogs with Richie Kotzen.
We covered them a few years back. I guess Richie's going on tour with John 5 this summer.
No kidding.
Yep, just saw that. And unbelievable, the excuse me, Chicago, the winery in the West Loop. They are doing rock shows. I saw John 5 there. Well, we
Really?
saw. Yep.
Far out.
I see Alicia Wood there quite a bit, but we saw John 5 there, and I saw Robbie Krieger there last year.
I saw Reverend Horton Heat.
No kidding. Robbie Krieger.
Yep, they're doing rock shows. It's weird. Actually, they almost got shut down too because of some violence at a show.
Oh boy!
Little like this place up by you just got shut down.
Which one?
The Pork Chop.
Oh yeah.
Yep, Edgewater. They let them rent out that some Southsiders rappers rented out a back room for a party.
Mm-hmm.
There were some shootings, and now the place is shut down.
Shootings. They killed two guys right in the sidewalk.
Oh
Blank,
my
blam,
God!
blam.
Where
Right
was
by
this?
him.
Edgewater.
Yeah, where he lives.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
North
It
side.
used to be the old Hamilton's college bar, Loyola. And the Loyola bought up the whole block, didn't want that.
Yeah,
They
and
shut
so
it.
they're shut down.
I just found out they actually have like a tiny bar cafe inside their quad, or whatever you call that. So maybe they didn't want kids buying beer over there. Keep it here. Keep the money here.
It's kind of dry up there, except for
and we went to
you have
bar
a few
63.
bars.
I saw, it turned to bar 63. That's where I saw the Cubs win the series. It was a hopping bar. But then when it shut down, because again, it was whoever buys that up, they're shady people,
Yeah.
and they got found out and shut down. But they did a good job when they had it running. But then it was dormant for a while, and Pork Chop bought it to make a remote pork chop, and it was a lame bar. They tried to build, then it started. They started adding music. The bar itself was too bright during the night. It's like lit up like it's a restaurant.
Huh.
Oh, God.
You want to, and they have a back room that's actually the restaurant. So why keep the front lit? I just don't like that in a bar. Period. With just closing time lights.
Right.
Oh, get the fuck out. Then you see how dirty it is.
Yeah, and all the ugly women.
Man, I would I
then
worked at Liars Club, and when the lights would come on in there, I'd be like,
The first time I was aware that they were renting it out is I went in there and a bunch of people. It was 5:30, 6 in the afternoon or evening, and there's a whole squad of good-looking girls coming out, some thick ones, some Latinas, and I'm like, "What's going on here?" And they said, "We just filmed a music video back there," and he goes, "If you were here earlier, would have put you in as a customer." I'm like, "Okay, cool." But anyway, that happened, and then I went back again because I'm like, "Okay, it's hopping," and they're starting to get some business, and a bunch of ladies were coming in. I'm like, "Oh, that's interesting. What's going on?" He goes, "Oh, I have a male dancer review in the back. You here for the show?" I'm like, "Oh, hell no."
Time to go.
But it's cool. They were trying to rent it out and make it something, but then they did it for a serious Southside party. And they used to have a back door called the Speakeasy.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so you could enter through the alley.
Oh, wow.
And you're
Back door, man.
You're mixing that kind of volatile crowd with the back alley
He
entrance.
wants to say something.
Yeah, he did. Enter from the
I'm
rear.
looking right at David, and something's going to come out.
Yeah, and
Trying to
then it
repress.
culminated with a shooting and shut down by the police.
Wow.
Double shooting. Two of the big wigs from gang guy got killed.
Yeah,
Whacked.
they've
Two of
really
them.
good names, too.
Two astronauts.
2 astronauts.
Oh, yeah, there are astronauts now, female astronauts. Oh, yeah. I guess you only spend 11 minutes in your space, you're an astronaut.
Good God.
Kiss the ground.
People are so full of shit.
So Katy Perry's an astronaut now?
Oh my
Gail
God.
King's in that. Well,
Yeah.
The favorite video I saw this when they, they're filming before they actually do their interview when they come out. They're standing outside. Is it Gates? Is it his thing? Bill Gates?
Bezos.
Jeff
Bezos
Bezos.
is standing outside with his assistant, and they're waiting outside the capsule so they can get the cameras in and film him unlocking the door.
Oh, God.
You'll find this video.
their outfits were so hot.
No, but he's supposed to,
They were.
unbolt the door.
Fucking tits.
The door cracks a little, and the lady, she pulls the door. She goes, no. You can just see she said no, not yet.
I got to get my
The
makeup.
door cracks open. You'll find it on YouTube. It's all over the
Yeah,
damn
who in the
place.
fuck decided that Katy Perry was hot in the first place? Even
Thank
though-
you. Thank you.
She's barely been cute since the
You know
beginning of
how
her
she
career.
got-
And there's
Russell
like
Brand.
a conspiracy theory that she's actually John Benet Ramsey. That's one of the theories out there.
I like that one.
There's a theory that Alex is Ozzy Osbourne, man.
I'm gonna fucking set you on fire. One time I posted on Facebook, I'm gonna set Matt Bravo on fire, and Facebook shut me down for like 18 days. Hate speech. I'm like, what? I just said I'm gonna set Max Bravo on fire.
Thank you, Facebook.
I'm one more
didn't set me
Ozzy
on
away
fire.
from killing somebody.
Disclaimer, satire.
I walk across the street. He's like, "Hey, Ozzy, you look just like him." I'm like, "Exactly like him. I look just like Ozzy.
Oh, my gosh.
Exactly."
I don't think so.
No.
I get the other one from the homeless guys though.
Yeah.
The one I get the most is like, "Hey, it's Gene Simmons." Like,
Oh, gosh.
that doesn't bother me. Like if I'm going to the liquor store with a woman and they're like, "Hey, it's Gene Simmons."
Yeah.
That gives me an opportunity to say, "Hey, I used to hang out with the guy." Then I slept the guy's 20. Here's for your next whatever.
I gave a homeless guy $20 yesterday.
I don't
Alex
like.
snatched money from a homeless guy. True story.
It's time to play the game.
You wanted them, and you got them. The original is back for the first time in 17 years. Kiss. Together again in concert, August 27th at San Jose Arena. In full makeup, Gene Simmons, Paul Stanley, Ace Frehley, Peter Criss. Tickets go on sale this Sunday. Brought to you by Bill Graham Presents.
Okay, before we play the game, Ace Frehley is a guitar player.
Yes, he is.
Any feeling about him? Do you like his guitar playing?
Gigantic influence on my early life
Okay.
and guitar playing. Yeah.
And particularly what about the guitar playing? I mean, I think the early shit. You listen to those solos on She and which was ripped off of Robbie Krieger, of course. But I mean, just the way he could hold a fucking note and
I think one of my favorite Kiss songs when I was a kid growing up in the 70s was Cold Gin off of Kiss Alive 1.
Yep.
Off the first live
Oh, the live album? Yeah. And Ace wrote that and Gene sang it.
I thought Ace Frehley sang that song.
Oh, Gene sang it. Ace didn't sing it till Shock Me.
Shock Me. That's another. That's the one that Ace sang. And I love that song too. Love Gun, that was a great album. I think the first Kiss album I got was Kiss Alive 2. And that opened the gateway to the rest of Kiss because they had the tattoos in there.
Yeah,
and, you know.
the book.
You remember the Love Gun album? They had the
gun. I still have that.
You still have it? That's awesome. And my parents,
I never got the gun to work, though.
This is like the mid-'70s, and my parents didn't know what the fuck this
my
shit
dad
was.
hated Kiss.
Oh, my grandmother saw like Kiss Alive 2 with the pictures on the back, the
the blood.
The blood.
Gene's face is right here. It's right there.
There it is, right there.
Yeah.
And you open it up and all the fire.
Yeah, my mom refused to buy it for me, so I had to like save up my paper route money to buy it for myself. I rode like 5 miles on my bicycle to a venture store that had a record department, and I bought that album.
My first Kiss album, I bought a listing booth in Steubenville, Ohio, home of Dean Martin and Tracy Lords. At listing booth, Rock and Roll Over on my 13th birthday. And then 2 nights later for Christmas, I got Kiss Alive 2. And Kiss Alive 2 was the shit for me then.
Hell yeah.
Like, think about that. It's like 1977, 78. And that's, as a kid, that's, I mean, I went from comic
Did you
books.
memorize how to play the drum solo from
every the drum solo? Peter, Chris, all the drums, and even the easy. One of your songs is gonna come up if you do that.
Okay.
No, but the one on Alive was really good too.
Yeah.
That was longer, I think. But all right, let's start with Nichole.
Okay. What are we doing? So I'm just
Ask any question.
Okay.
And then the answer's on the back.
okay. The answer's on the back.
Of course.
Oh, okay. Name the song Kiss performed at Super
Wait,
Bowl
where's my buzzer?
33, or Super Bowl 33.
Oh, that's when they got their makeup back on. Oh, the triple. I remember the 30th was triple X, XX.
XXXIII.
Very good.
I.
Ozzy. It was. It's a trick question between two songs. I'm gonna go with Rock and Roll All Night.
Yes.
Wow.
You got it.
Well, they lip synced it, so
Well.
okay. You're up.
Okay.
It's my turn to answer?
No, your
Or do
turn
I
to
read
ask. Ask.
Oh, I do an answer?
Oh, so you
No,
do.
no, you don't need. No, ask anything out of any card.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Not in any.
Did you already draw
particular
3,
order.
Max? Yeah. So there's like 2,500 questions here total. All right, Damon.
What is Vinnie Vincent's real name?
Oh, Vincent Cassano.
Wow.
He wrote. He brought Kiss back. He wrote and played all the lead, mostly all the leads on Creatures of the Night when Ace got credit, but he was credited as a writer, Vincent Cassano, and Lick It Up.
Fun fact.
Max.
Paul contributed his distinctive vocal talents to what coffee commercial?
Jesus, man. Folgers.
Oh, I was gonna say it wasn't Maxwell.
It was almost as gay as his character.
Okay.
This is the gayest episode we've ever done. And we did one during the gay parade.
Hold on, let me find a good one.
But you should have shaved your beard when you were wearing that dress. I'm just saying.
I know.
What was the year Kiss first toured Japan?
'77.
Yes. You're so good at
They had
Doing good this time.
They
I
had
knew that.
publicity here and there at the same time to keep them alive in the press in America.
Okay.
That's how powerful they're.
I was gonna guess 75.
No, I was gonna. It was between that and '78. All right.
Okay.
What was the A side of the single Beth? I know it because I had it.
Yeah. Shout it out loud.
Detroit Rock City.
This is one or the other.
Who were the 4 KISS band members that appeared on the children's program Kids Are People Too?
Yep, that was Gene, Paul, Ace, and they introduced the great, late Eric Carr.
Nice.
My favorite drummer of all time, actually.
Okay.
Your last one. Try to make it harder.
Oh, I can do that.
I hate it when people say, "I'll give you an easy one." No, don't give me an easy one.
Name the KISS band member that was on the cover of Creatures of the Night album, but never played on the album.
Already addressed that.
What?
Ace didn't play on it. Ace Frehley.
Oh. I tried to give you a hard one.
One more letter would have been a hard. One less letter would have been a hard. What hard one or hard
Right.
on?
Hard on that.
Reminds me of a joke.
Okay, Bill Maher.
Where was the infamous photo for the album cover of Kiss Alive taken, Alex? For all of my HBO listeners.
The photo on Kiss Alive, I believe, was Cobo Hall in Detroit, Michigan.
Michigan Palace.
Oh. All right, Max.
All right, right here in front of you.
Maxi Pad.
Who produced Rock and Roll Over?
Oh, fuck. I've been brushing up on yeah. Oh, man.
It's the first album.
Fuck, and I know they recorded that in a theater.
Produced it?
I know who it wasn't. I think it's the only time they ever used the guy. So
Bruce Dickinson.
More fucking
that was
cowbell.
Marilyn Manson's name at a hotel once when he had to call and
really?
interview him. Yeah, it was Bruce Dickinson. I'm just gonna say I don't know. I don't want to embarrass myself.
Eddie Kramer.
Wow.
He did Rock and Roll Over. Shit, man!
You might know that one.
I'm talking. I'm trying to set up an interview with that guy.
Oh, wow.
I seriously am. We're still here.
Dead air.
There's the new cat.
You look good, Rock.
You two don't.
Well, fun.
I know. He was a big boy.
Well, for what for us, maybe the two of you would.
Would what? Would never have stood for anything?
What are you talking about, Rock?
I made my decision and stood next to you. And it was an honor. And I wouldn't change that for the whole world. Not 1 minute of it. Now, Slanja.
Slanja. You know, he was sort of a badass, wasn't he? Shades of Eastwood. Charlie Bronson.
Duke fucking Wayne.
Duke fucking Wayne!
Men build things, then we die. It's in our fucking DNA. That's what we do.
And when it all falls down,
We build it right back up again. But this time bigger. Better. Look what we can do. Look how fucking beautiful we are. You think the men that built all this had it easy?
hard men.
Doing hard shit. And that gives me a hard on. But not in a gay way or anything.
It's a very gay episode.
I am so sick of this self-help, 12-step, leftover, hippie generation bullshit.
Now they don't want you to do anything, right? Just sit there. Don't drink, don't smoke, don't drive fast.
Kiss my ass! Fuck it, do it all, I say. You think Duke Wayne spent all his time talking about his feelings with a fucking therapist?
There's no fucking way he did!
John Wayne died with 5 pounds of undigested red meat in his ass. Now that's the man! Real men hide their feelings. Why?
Because it's none of your fucking business!
Men do not cry. Men do not pout. Men kick you in the fucking jaw and say...
Thanks for coming out.
Every great day starts with a cup of get the fuck out of bed coffee from Martin Atkins and Dark Matter Coffee. Go to darkmattercoffee.com. Look for the big red logo that says get the fuck out of bed. America runs on damage, and it all starts with a cup of get the fuck out of bed coffee. There are 10 commandments and there are 7 deadly sins, but there is only one MK Ultra Magazine. Visit us daily online at www.mkultramagazine.com for entertainment news, reviews, and interviews. mkultramagazine.com, home of Alexander's Diary of a Damn Man. That's mkultramagazine.com.
Time to get to the metal.
Speaking of metal, who was I can't remember the name of the guy that you had on. I heard an episode of MK Ultrasound. It was he's a hanging artist. He held a world record.
Matt Zane.
Yeah, that was a good episode.
Good friend, man. I think he's only played here once, Metro.
Yeah.
He opened early, he played early that night. Yeah, he doesn't care. He gets everybody, because of his last couple things. If you listen to the whole show, you'll know.
I did. Yeah.
That Blabbermouth said to the label that sponsored the spot that we have here, DSN, said we will never review your bands again if you continue to work with Matt Zane.
No kidding.
Yeah, I mean they just hate on him, and man, the guy's like hard. I mean, yeah, he does things that are off center, but that's what I love, man.
Yeah, that's cool.
And the thing is, they focus on that. On the hanging thing and the suspension, and Chris Adrian had to argue with him about the time, and Matt obviously won.
Right.
But the last time he got press was us, and then this guy on the East Coast, Ilker, who I work with, who does industrial music, Regen Mag. And then the last thing he did is like kind of Hitler video. Well, it had him playing a Hitler character in it. I was the only one that ever showed it in the world on a platform. But yet, Kanye West's new song is Heil Hitler, and he gets a fucking pass. Now, thank you for interrupting me for going into your song. I want to talk about that. What the fuck?
Right.
Yeah, that was,
No, why is it okay for him to be a fucking Nazi hater?
Because they're using the excuse of saying, oh, it's art. No, that's not fucking art.
I did a medium dive into Zane's career, and it was interesting.
He's amazing.
Guy.
No, he's
interesting guy.
He's a good guy. He's a great artist. His music reminds me a lot of Alice in Chains. He's worked with a lot of friends of mine. He loves The Doors, my favorite band. That's his favorite
talked about that a lot.
Oh, God. He's deep into The Doors.
I like that he did a lot of his writing at that hotel.
Yep, in the room that Jim used to rent.
That's crazy.
And Jim hardly lived anywhere.
That was an interesting story.
Yeah.
No, he's been on the show twice before, and I support him 100%. Always will.
Cool.
We've met in person only one time, but he's dated MK Ultra cover models like Messy Stench, who used to live here.
Mm-hmm.
Dated her. I just think he's a great guy. He did his blog not a blog, but he did on his Facebook page. He tried to do internet dating, and he would write about his dates. I'm like, dude, you should have made I wish I would have saved him. Like, you could have made a book of that. And when we talked about it, he said, well, I just don't have time because he's so busy. He's always producing. Yeah. I mean, because he works with Run DMC.
Energy, man.
Yeah, total energy. I mean, I admire him more than anybody in the music industry right now. And you know what? Even when he gets shit from people, he's still like, "Fuck you, I'm gonna do it and persevere." Yeah. And he's the healthiest human I know. I mean, I don't know how he does it. He's very disciplined. Remember,
one of your other guests was trying to call him out on some violence against.
Oh,
the
girl,
the felon, or
yeah,
what's her name?
Ellen the felon. Yeah,
Ellen
yeah,
the felon.
Yeah, that pissed me off. So she's not going to be on the show anymore. I don't like that. Oh. No, I mean, that wasn't the point of the interview.
It didn't even faze him though.
No, he's used to it. I mean, everybody. I don't understand it. I mean, even the AVN's Adult Video News, they don't work with guys like he and I anymore. I mean, he was the golden boy for a minute, and back when the rock and porn thing was happening, it was him and me. We were both on the cover story of the rock and porn issue of AVN, which I could show you, and I just like, I don't understand. Like, so he's only showing what really happens backstage. And this is honest to God. That Motley Crue movie didn't show enough.
Right.
It is. I mean, you're just basically the same age as I am. Dude, I got a blowjob as I was DJing once. And people were taking pictures. The girl's under the console. I got 2 turntables. She's under me, blowing me.
It's awesome.
And I'm like, that's just how we weren't degrading it.
You didn't have a gun to her head.
I'm going to tell you one thing.
She was where she wanted
They would
to
have
be,
lined
right?
up to do that at
Yeah,
that time.
absolutely.
I mean, that's how it was. Blowjobs under the table. Good God. That's how it was.
That is
Pretty much.
You can't change. You can't change history.
That's why I
the way
could
it
never
was.
run for president. Fucking about 50,000 broads would come out of the fucking woodwork saying I raped them.
Yep, pretty much.
Which I didn't.
No.
Everything I did was consensual-ish.
Yeah, sometimes you were under protest. I've been there too.
If an ass could have a
should I
sound, I
do
heard
this?
it there.
No, but seriously, Matt was, he's a great interview. He's a serious businessman. He's highly disciplined. You know, I said once, because he goes and hikes by himself sometimes in the rocks. I'm like, that guy that cut his own arm off and drank his piss, Aaron Ralston,
right,
and wrote a book about it, made a movie about him.
Oh, that children's book writer, yeah.
It's like Gigi Allen 2.0.
Yeah, no.
God damn.
But I'm like, Matt, I don't want to lose you like that. I mean, don't go out there, because he would. He's an extremist, and I like anybody that'll go that far. Just, I don't know.
Right.
The demographic for people like us these days are very small, but there's probably some freaks that we don't know about it who love it, and hopefully they're buying records, and hopefully they're going to buy yours. And how do we get your music? Do you buy it, or
you can get it on any major music platform, from Spotify to Apple iTunes to Amazon to
how do you find it?
Just Google it.
Just
Google what?
Nichole Bodie.
That's it?
Nichole
or
And-
Damon Christopher.
David Christopher.
And you can put the links to it on your...
Yep, I am absolutely going to. It's always fun. I hate when it ends, and I want to talk about White House now. I asked, okay, Damon, send me
Sure.
something.
White
You're wearing the
House
shirt,
Bunny.
yeah, and you said, give me a CD, thank you. I had heard about, thanks to Scott Davis of Rebel Radio, talked about.
He's
I
an
don't know
old
if have
friend.
you seen that movie, Static? It's on
No.
Chicago Heavy Metal Rock Radio. I'm in
No, I
that
haven't seen it. No
documentary. Scott Davis and I'm in it. We're only 2 Chicago DJs in this doc. Well, no, the Chicago DJs in it, but we're the only 2 still active.
Static, available on YouTube.
It's
for
on
free.
YouTube for free, and
I'm gonna watch it.
it's only like 60 minutes,
I
but
love it.
you'll totally get it.
Right on.
And there are a lot of people weren't included in it, and DSN, same guys who did that spot, they said I was more minded live. Imagine that. Me? But anyway, I guess I was on my game that day. It was during COVID.
Oh,
But it's pretty cool. And but your metal background, you told us about your growth as a player and a listener and a fan of rock and roll. When did you decide to pick up and start playing? And what was your first band?
My very first band was a band called Phantasm.
Well, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
That was mine. I spelled it with an F and a
So
Z.
did I.
You
No
gotta
Z.
be lying to
That's
me.
hilarious.
Are you fucking? Did you read
No
my
Z.
shit?
There was an F. And we had a logo and everything.
So did I.
Yeah.
I got Reggie Bannister that was in Phantasm's autographed a photo for me. Said "Phantasmic Buds Forever."
Wow.
I can't. Whoa!
It was just a kids band. We were like 19.
I was 15.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It's a trip, right?
That is a trip.
But even as far back as the Phantasm, it was Joe Schaefer.
Yeah,
And who eventually was my drummer in Deadcore. Like,
Wait a minute. Why do I know this name?
because you
he's
do.
the drummer from Usurper.
Oh, and they were on Earache.
He's,
Yeah, I know
His
those guys.
Stage name is Apocalyptic Warrior.
I knew his by his other name, but yeah. They were.
He's
Matt
one of my
Zane-
oldest friends.
Matt Zane on the same label. Yeah, Usurper. I actually met them at Delilah's at the party.
They're old friends of mine too. Yeah. After Phantasm, Joe joined the precursor to Usurper, which was a band called the Dead Youth.
Okay.
They had songs like Spandex and Normandy, and I can't remember some of the other ones. But I do remember one time they were playing at what the fuck was that bar? Regardless, whatever. But the bass player John Carnes, they were so fucked up. I was so impressed by this. They were in the middle of this hardcore speed metal song, and the bass player just fucking, he was so drunk, he leaned over, Threw up on stage. Didn't miss a fucking note. Just kept playing. I was like, man, that's fucking metal.
That sounds
dude.
like Danny
That's
from
metal.
Faster Pussycat.
Yeah, it sounds like a friend of mine saw Elmore James many years ago, an older friend of mine in Dallas, and he told me he saw Elmore James drunk off his ass on stage playing his harmonica, which he was known for.
Nice.
Puked through his harmonica and kept playing.
Nice.
Kept playing.
Them from Phantasm.
Yeah, yeah. Rock and
I got
roll.
a little
That's
older.
rock and roll.
Turned 21. I wasn't in a band. I started playing in guitar solo contests. It was my career has always been musicianship driven. I was trying to strive to learn more and be better. There was a period in my life where, for like 12, 15 years, I would literally practice for 10 hours a day, trying to be the next Yngwie Malmsteen. So I was trying to further my career by going to these guitar solo contests, playing against people like Dave Urich, among others. And then that's when I met Scott Davidson. There was a guitar solo contest at the Avalon. And after I did mine, and me and Dave Urich were the two semifinalists, and he eventually beat me. But Scott came up to me and he asked me to join Stonehenge.
Okay.
But I was like, I already got that. I was just starting to get into Seventh Omen at that point. I was like, I already got something going. I'm cooking up something already, So I didn't join Stonehenge. And then I got into Seventh Omen, which again was musicianship driven. We were trying to do, progressive metal, influenced by like Rush and Metallica and Slayer and bands like Dream Theater and Symphony X.
And Kiss the Elder.
No, I left Kiss way behind. Wait, what was that?
Nothing.
But after that, I was in Seventh Omen for 12 fucking years. Got a record contract with a Tattoo Records, which Tattoo Magazine financed.
Okay.
It was a brief-lived record company. Our A&R guy bought us onto the tour with Wasp. That was like he bought us on that tour for like 20 grand.
What year was that?
2000, maybe 1999, 2000, somewhere around there. And then went on that tour. They put the album out. We came off the tour, and then we were supposed to go out again with Great White on that tour where they set the nightclub on fire.
Oh, wow.
I was at Minneapolis that night.
Yeah, we were supposed to be on that tour, opening for Great White, but our bass player broke his fucking wrist skateboarding, of all things. He wasn't even a skateboarder. But
that's why he broke his wrist.
Right. So Seventh Omen declined shortly after that. And then I got into another band called Deadcore. We did one album with Deadcore. The producer sucked. It was great fucking music, man, but just not enough low end. I was angry about that record. I was in that band for 6 years. Then I kind of took some time off. I took a hiatus to take care of my mom because she was dying of Alzheimer's and shit.
It's a beautiful thing, man.
5 years.
Take care of your mom.
Yeah. Then after that, I joined a female-fronted band called Made of Metal, which the other guitar player was almost as good as me. Singer was good. They had good songs, but they had this weird fucking picayune producer, and him and I clashed over certain things. So I don't know, after like 6 months, I was like, fuck you guys. Got the fuck out of there. And then White House Burning was born at that point out of my anger at that last band that I was in. I was like, you know what? Fucking, I'm not going to join bands anymore. I'm going to form my own fucking band. I'm going to write all the goddamn songs. I'm going to call the shots. And White House Burning was a trio, power trio.
Anybody you can mention names?
Mikey Mazalewski was on bass. He used to be in a band called Innuendo, I think. And Dean Clark was on drums. He was never in like a big band, or White House Burning was probably the biggest band he's ever been in. But both of those guys are two of my oldest friends, and we had been in bands in the past. Mikey was briefly a bass player for Deadcore, as was Dean Clark. Dean got replaced by Joe Schaefer from Usurper. And then, I don't know, White House Burning lasted about 5-6 years. And then we just finally ran out of gas. The drummer wanted to start doing more covers, and I'm not about doing covers. I'm an artist. I like writing songs and doing my songs.
Do you feel good in a producer role now?
Oh, very comfortable.
I mean, you got your studio gear and stuff, so you can
Extremely comfortable.
You're not going to
as
give
a
that up to
producer.
anybody else
No,
moving
no,
forward, right?
No, never.
Before we play the song that you sent to me, and by the way, you said you created White House out of anger. No doubt. I can't wait to hear the rest of it, but just the lyrics to the song that you sent me. But do you mind sharing, because I know people want to hear this, you mentioned you toured with Wasp, and he said a few things to me on a break. Nichole, do you mind if he shares this tale? You toured with Wasp.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
I mean, you were talking about Chris Holmes, and like I looked at Max and I said, everybody, first thing, anybody, when you say Chris Holmes, you just bring up one thing. The documentary that Penelope Spears did, the lady did Wayne's World.
The Metal Years.
Yes, she did the Metal Years. And if you even say the name of the movie, that's the first thing they bring up. Ozzy's in it. I mean, Faster Pussycat and Ricky Rackman are pretty much mostly the film. But they talk about, they don't talk about Ozzy cooking eggs. They don't talk about, Kiss looked ridiculous in that. Gene in a lingerie shop.
Right.
Paul, it was like so fake. And I think
the most real part of the movie was when Chris is in the fucking pool
with his mom. And for those of you who don't know it, you want to set this up and see what happened. He's in the pool with his mom, drinking straight
whiskey or scotch or something,
just floating,
or maybe vodka. I don't know.
One thing he says, "I'm a full blown alcoholic," and his mom's there, and that's all. Because I think that was other than Faster Pussycat and Ricky Rockman, but they were talking about the girls and the groupies, and Chris Holmes was the only part of that film that wasn't about that.
Well, metal back in those days, especially like speed metal and the speed metal bands, and there was a certain amount of self-destructive things going on among all of us. We were into smoking weed, we were into partying, we were into doing coke. It was just a hard and fast lifestyle.
So you mentioned you party with Chris Holmes. What was that like?
I could tell you one story that epitomizes the whole fucking thing, because I was with them almost every night on that tour. Well, one night, I'd been drinking a little bit. We did our set. I think it was somewhere in New Mexico. I think it was in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Did our set. They did their set. And then, I don't know, we're all just hanging out in the bar. And I had a few to drink. And Chris gave me his coffee cup. I told you that, like, on every stop of the tour, he would, like, get a piece of paper and tear off a piece of paper and throw it in his coffee.
He get in the mail, right?
Yeah, get it FedEx to the venue. I don't know what it was. But he would throw it in his coffee. And one night, he's like, here, have some of this. I was like, fucking coffee. Chugged it. Dude, I don't know what the fuck happened after that. I, like, blacked the fuck out. And,
damn.
Yeah, it was one of the rare nights where we didn't sleep in the van, and we found our way. I found my way back to my band's hotel room, and at the time we would sleep 4 to a room, 2 guys in the bed.
Oh yeah,
2 guys on the floor.
Yeah.
It was nothing. Yeah, it's the gayest episode of MK Ultra, but
yeah.
There was nothing gay going on. I mean, 2 guys would sleep in the bed, and 2 guys would sleep on the floor, or one guy.
That's
in the
how
chair
it happens.
Yeah,
somebody falls out of bed.
So I fucking burst into the room, just fucked up, blackout. Whatever Chris gave me, don't know what it was. And I made my way into what I thought was the bathroom. It wasn't the bathroom. It was my drummer's sleeping area. And I went to dude, I just started taking a piss, dude. I pissed all over his fucking face.
Oh my God.
And he had brought his special pillows from home because he couldn't sleep on hotel pillows. So I pissed all over his special pillows from home, too. So then all the other members of the band are screaming at me like, "What the
Have
fuck
you heard this,
are you
Nichole?
doing?
Okay.
What are you doing? What are you doing? You just pissed all over Bob." And I denied it. I'm like, "No, I didn't. I was in the bathroom. Fuck you guys." They kicked me out of the hotel room. They're like, "Get the fuck out of here." And I'm in the middle of fucking New Mexico, fucked up. I don't even know where I am,
Well, if you're going to be fucked up also, that's a good place to be.
So I'm just wandering down the street, and I see Wasp tour bus pulled up to the diesel pumps at a gas station. And I'm standing around, and Chris pokes his head out. He's like, "Get your ass in here." Puts me on the bus, and we go to the next city. Seventh Omen, my band, they went to the next city without their guitar player. They didn't know where the fuck I was. I was on Wasp fucking bus, So the next day we pull up to the next venue, and I see my band getting out of our shitty little van with our shitty little fucking trailer, and I get out of Wasp bus. I'm like, hey guys, what's up? Let's do the gig.
And
It was fine. We never talked about it again after that. Although we had to go to Walmart and I had to buy Bob new pillows because he brought his special fucking pillows from home, which I pissed all over.
Whoa, I'm glad there's another one of me out there. I'm glad I asked that story.
Yeah, absolutely.
There was another time in Boulder when Chris and I were partying. I wound up fucking the owner of the club. I wound up fucking his wife in the dressing room, and he fucking walked in on us.
Oh,
I got kicked out. We didn't get to do that set.
The owner of the venue.
The owner of the venue,
not
fucked
the
his wife.
hotel. All right, one more.
One more. Oh man, that's not enough.
Yeah,
Not for this show.
Trifecta going.
And nothing gay. So
I've heard all.
I don't know. There was a golden shower in a guy's face. You know.
Oh, I was engaged at the time to this one woman, and she couldn't come to the
your
show.
stud husband here.
She couldn't come to the not her.
No,
No, I
This is
said
a long time ago.
No, I'm just saying
I've
this.
heard them all.
But we did a show, and I picked up a groupie and
It's a
took her in the
beautiful thing.
van, made out with her. Oh, and she had a real thick fucking red lipstick on, which I really didn't notice at the time. But my fiance couldn't come to that show. She was waiting. She had to work, and then she was going to meet me at my house later that night after the gig. So I get with this groupie, go in the van, we make out, didn't have a condom, she wouldn't fuck me. I went to go get a condom, and while I was there, she got out of the van and went somewhere with her friends and shit. But anyway, we did the show, did a whole show. Packed up the gear, took it back. Nobody told me anything. Did a whole show, packed up all the fucking gear. Finally make it back to my apartment to go see my girlfriend, take my clothes off, crawl into bed with her, wake up the next morning, face to face with her. She opens her eyes and looks at me. I open my eyes, look at her, and she's like, "What the fuck is all over your face? All that lipstick is just."
Oh shit!
That was the end of the engagement.
I was at the circus.
Yeah, that'll kind of happen.
I think I told her. No, I was drinking grenadine. It's grenadine syrup.
Oh, I hate that shit.
That's the only thing
Nicole,
I could come up
what's the craziest thing Worm ever did on tour?
Or in shows?
At shows, yeah. I mean, I know.
I went to a few of those shows.
I know like every member of the band because there's Roving Door, which is they're gonna a wannabe pig face, but anything crazy other than meeting your husband, future husband? I'd like that.
No.
Would you call your husband Jimmy?
Didn't you bang the guitar player?
Oh yeah, Mike.
No.
Oh, sorry.
No. I'm trying to think.
Cigar guy.
Cigar guy.
Mike, married to that crazy blonde chick.
Cigar guy. I don't recall.
He's in the band.
In Worm?
Yeah, he's a guitar player.
No, I don't recall any of that.
I thought his name was Mike.
So did I.
But if I really think about it, they were kind of boring. Like not boring, but like didn't really.
Well, yeah, you got fired over a fucking meme.
I got fired over a Facebook post. So like.
So what was that meme? It's funny because I saved it.
It's like Magic 8 Ball. Wait, was it is that what I shared?
It was that I saved it.
Yes.
Did some research
I
that I
said
found.
Magic
I'm
8
saving
Ball.
it forever. I have
How
it
do you kill a baby? And then you shake the Magic 8 Ball. It says like that.
and
awesome.
you got fired?
Well,
Yeah,
it
because their
wasn't.
bass player was a fucking cunt.
Well,
Fucking
she had
woke
a really
fucking-
big problem with.
She had the
what
perfect name.
Yeah,
She had a
Well,
really,
she
she had a
went on
really
to fuck
big
my life
problem.
up too. So
She had a really big problem with a lot of things I was posting on the internet. But there was one thing that she
she's
said.
racist.
Well,
That's
no,
what it is.
Right,
I
right.
think
She's racist.
So
Because
racist.
you're black.
no, she had some beef with me, and I never really knew what it was. But I really drew the line
'Cause you're pretty?
When she found out that I was with Damon. She said, "Oh, you're with that old man."
Ooh.
That's what she said, and I said, "That's not what that's about." And I said, "That's also none of your fucking business." So
I think I'm aging gracefully.
you're beautiful, best age like fine wine.
Badass motherfucker.
No, but the thing is, I think it was short lived, and I think that the other band members were angry that I was doing my own thing.
yeah.
With Damon,
Oh,
I broke off, and
well,
I wasn't.
everybody in that
We
band was doing their
almost
thing.
immediately at the,
Schumer, that's his name, Mike Schumer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Shoe.
Shoo.
Yeah,
But
we're-
almost
we're-
immediately after when we got
I
together,
thought that guy was my friend for a minute.
We almost immediately started making music together.
Yeah, almost instantly.
Well, why not? And why?
And then they were bitching, oh, Nichole never comes to practice. And it was like, we don't have practice. So if you're not practicing, for sets and not including me, then what are you doing here? I'm going to, of course, have something else on the side that I'm working on. There's nothing wrong with that. But there was just a lot of that band has had a lot of people come in and out of it. Like, it's been quite the revolving door. That's what she said.
There's nothing gay about that.
But, yeah.
Unless it's the back door.
I don't wish anything bad for them. It's just...
I don't either.
I told him, I said, the real reason why she doesn't like me is because I'm fucking more metal than she is. That's what I said.
Oh, that makes sense. Now, speaking of metal, let's just jump into it. So you sent me this song, Your Pain by White House. You sent me the lyrics. I love it. I understand it because you were angry and pissed. And do you want to give the background on this one before we play it? And could we talk after, or do you just want to end the show?
You're the navigator here, bro. We can end the show after this. That's fine.
All right.
I've kind of got a heart out. Anyway.
All right, cool. Well, we're going to play your song, Your Pain from White House, and you guys get the fuck out of Dodge. Okay, so this came out of... First of all, Nichole Bodie, Damon, Christopher, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having us.
Mr. Radio here. This is my Don Pardo.
Right nice meeting Max.
Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting both of you.
Yeah, and I'm sure that he's seen you perform live.
I'm sure.
All right, set this song up and I'll let you guys get the fuck out. So you wrote this about somebody?
Sort of.
Or situation?
It's partly inspired by the singer from the last band that I was in. I had kind of a thing for her, but...
Oh, that band. Okay.
Yeah, she was hot, man. And she was talented and stuff, but I don't know. I left the band so fucking angry. I was just like, you know what? I just want to fucking stab you and watch you bleed.
And you know what? You can watch this on YouTube, by the way. And I'm going to put all the links up. And thank you both for coming. And we're going to listen to White House right now. The song is called Your Pain. Performed and written by Damon Christopher's old band White House. And this is the MK Ultrasound Podcast.
Everyone to say you hate me because the only one who sees is me. I just wanna cut you and watch you bleed for me. Wash away the blood of my sins. Your pain is all I need. When you look into that mirror, the tears of blood flow like light. And if you heard that I like murder, the tears of blood
You've been listening to the MK Ultrasound podcast from Chicago, Illinois with your host, Alexander. Please click like and subscribe and share with your friends. Check us out online at mkultramagazine.com. And on behalf of the MK Ultrasound staff, thanks for listening, everybody.